Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Iowa Cattle. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. So you joined me literally moments after the last episode ended. We're still in the cab of the Nexat here and we are making our way over to field 10. We're going to go and carry on the drilling. We're going to drill ourselves some more corn in there. Obviously, I'd like to keep an element of crop rotation on the farm, so what was beans is now going to be corn and vice versa. We've got a bit of alfalfa that we drilled a couple of episodes ago here on our right, which is obviously it hasn't germinated yet, but it's all going to be good in the coming months. But yeah, as you can see from the totals that we've got a full hopper of solid fertilizer. Of course, we drilled beans in the last episode. Soybeans don't need fertilizer, so we've still got 18,000 litres of solid fert behind us. But I've got a funny feeling we're going to be using a lot of that. I don't know exactly how much, but we're going to be using a lot of that up today. I need to change over to corn. Of course, there we are. We've got a handful of pallets of seed over at the farm, so once we've got this beauty over to the field, I'm just going to take a quick wander around to the farm. We're going to jump in the telehandler, load up the flatbed trailer with some pallets. I have bought in a few pallets of solid fertilizer as well, just in case. So we're going to be running down to the field with a little bit of support with the telehandler and the flatbed trailer. Obviously the gooseneck trailer that I did have in mind to use on this series as a kind of field support for pulling back into pallets and whatnot. A few episodes ago we turned that into a nurse trailer for liquid fertilizer. So that's entirely kind of confined to use for the pickup truck, which is currently sat back at the dealership way back there. So we'll just be running back into with the telehandler for now. But this is the field we're going to be starting to work in today. Obviously, it's what time is it? It's 4:25 in the afternoon. The weather is good right the way through the night till about, I think it's about 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I'm going to take full advantage, if I can, of this lovely weather. If it means working into the night, it means working into the night. Like I said, we're going to be drilling field 10 here with some corn. And field 5 here next to the farm, it was corn, it's now going to be turned to soybeans. So yeah, bit of a plan of attack, like I say. Now onwards from the last episode, I've got to say a massive thank you to all of you who did drop comments regarding the purpose and usage of this wonderful thing, and I do have to give it especially a big shout out again to Virtual Farming Life, he's so knowledgeable in this field, no pun intended, because of what he does for a living. Now he's very kindly, he left a very detailed explanation of what the main proper purposes of this thing is, and the whole idea behind it and the usage of it, and a very brief overview on the financial point of it as well, because there is a point to it. Obviously, you know, when I made the last episode, I wasn't 100% clued up on the real reason behind why something like this now exists within the agricultural industry. But after reading and digesting Virtual Farming Life's wonderful explanation, I've got to say it does make sense, especially when it comes down to your soil health, for example. But I'll go into that in a little bit more detail very shortly. Like I say, I'm just going to take a quick wander up to the farm here, jump in the telehandler and get loading up some pallets and as a bit of support for the Nexat for the next few hours. So yeah, the animals are all good, the cows are all good. I say animals, it's just the cows, but they're all good for now. I don't need to worry too much about those in today's episode. They're stocked up, they've got plenty of feed, they've got plenty of meadow grass as well to chomp away on, so it's all good. I know I've said it before, but I do really like this pasture here next to the farm. Previously it was an alfalfa field, and obviously it was lovely, it was great, but having it as an active cow pasture now, I just feel works perfectly. It really does, in my opinion. So yeah, all good. Right, anyway, telehandler, let's get sorted. Right, let's get doing this. So we'll load up the solid fertilizer there that I've had delivered to the farm and get this onto the trailer. I've only bought 5,000 litres of it. I've got no idea whether I've not bought enough there. I'm not too sure. We shall see. Have we got those tines spread wide enough? It is quite difficult to judge when you're doing this in cab, I must admit. No, let's spread those as wide as they can go. I should be able to get 4 of them. Come on. There we are. Lovely stuff. That'll do for me. Get these on the trailer. Put these at the very front there. That'll do. Carefully does it. A bit more forward. That'll do for me. Come on. What are you caught on there? There we go. That's better. Good stuff. Grab that one. Now, I mentioned in the last episode, I did give a bit of an idea as to what I wanted to do with this series. Of course, it's going to run its course at some point. There's still a little bit to focus on yet. We've still got the cotton to get harvested in the future, which I'm really looking forward to. Spent a savage amount of money on that lovely cotton harvester that we've got in the shed, which I'm very keen to get into. But at some point, like I say, the series is going to come to an end, so that I can focus on new things, try and keep content on the channel a bit fresh, as it were, because that's an important thing to consider doing this kind of thing. I do have a plan in mind, but it's a little bit of a new thing for me, this thing that I'm going to be possibly taking on. So I'm just, you know, I'm not going to reveal anything about it or anything like that, but I suppose it's just nice to talk about it in a loose sense, I guess. But yeah, I do have something in mind to follow on from this US series, because I do have those of you who do follow my channel. First, I've got to say a massive thank you to all of you for supporting my channel and your views and your time watching the videos and all that kind of stuff, and your comments, and also to all of you wonderful folks who are over on the Discord as well. If you aren't on the Discord, you're more than welcome to. The link's in the video description below. Please do jump over, come say hi. If you do use Discord, it's a fun place to be, my Discord, I've got to say. It's a bit... we have some fun on there, I must admit. It's a bit of a madhouse at times, but yeah, it's a good laugh. It's a good laugh. There's lots of knowledgeable people who work in the farming industry themselves, which is great. But there's also a few of us who are just nutcases, I suppose. It's just, we like to have a laugh on there, I've got to say. So yeah, if you're not on there, you're more than welcome. Like I say, jump on over, come say hi. But yeah, it's I'm kind of gently now planning the towards the end of this series, as it were. We've still got some time to go. Of course, we've got to wait for everything to be ready to harvest. We've still got to drill the fields yet that we're doing today before we can harvest them, of course. And I've missed that massively there, haven't I? There we are. Get that on there. But yeah, it's just nice to have something to aim for, I've got to say. And sometimes it's for me, finding the motivation or the creativity, the creative spark to do something new, all stems initially from a map. And I have found recently some wonderful maps they're American maps, of course, because I've got my series, my European series, Farming Europe, and I've got my UK series over on FARMERSIM Briscoe Saxlingen, and obviously I've got my American series over here, because I do like to keep my finger in, you know, a variety of what Farming Simulator can offer, and I love a bit of everything. I'm not tied down to one style of farming. I'm not tied down to one, you know, just sticking with a UK farm or a European farm or an American farm. I think if I had to choose one, if somebody said to me tomorrow, Farming Simulator is now going to be confined to one country of style of farming, I think I would say, please stick with US maps then, if possible, if I had that kind of question to answer. There's something, as you know, I'm from the UK, as you can probably hear, but I'm not a farmer in real life. I've learned everything I know, which isn't necessarily a huge amount, but I've learned everything I know about farming initially from Farming Simulator, and I absolutely love it. It's just the most wonderful thing, it really is. Oh my word. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to get that, am I? How am I going to get that? I'm going to have to tilt it back. Kind of difficult working with the rafters here, but if I... Come on. No. Not got this one in a very good position, have I? Come on. If I can tilt that back. Come on. Oh, yes. That was close, wasn't it? There we are. But yeah, I've learnt everything I know about farming from Farming Simulator, and like I say, if I had to choose one style of farming, one area in the world to farm on Farming Simulator, it would be these beautiful US maps. There's something really, really special about them. It's what got me into the game initially when I first found the genre, the franchise, or whatever you want to call it. It was American maps that made me go, you know, wow, I want to play this forever, as it were. It's just, there's just something really, really special about it, in my personal opinion. But anyway, right. So, enough of my dulcet tones. Let's get ourselves down to the field, load up the Nexat, we'll get cracking. Right then, so I've not actually drilled this field before. This is episode 24, I think it is, and this is the first time that we're drilling this field. It shows how much I faff about, doesn't it? Now I'm not going to manually load in like that. I'm just going to see. Let's bring up the F1 menu there. Refill additional tank. There we go. Lovely stuff. I do hope that I've got enough seed here. Like I say, we've got 5,000 litres on the back of the trailer there. So, fingers crossed I've got enough. It is a big field. I probably have. But, much like the approach I take with food, it's better to have too much than too little. Right, let's pull this out the field. We will leave it close to the field edge here, just to make sure that we don't run out mid-job. Come on, you. To be fair, there is a bit of weight behind us, let's be honest. So, let's just pull this up on the road, on the verge. I've had traffic turned off on this map for quite a while now, actually, just purely because they had a tendency to bunch up and get a bit confused when it came to junctions, so I'm just going to afford to leave it here. And to be fair, I also just like the peacefulness that it provides, not having trucks and cars whizzing past. It gives it an extra ruralness to the feel of the map for me, in my personal opinion. So, right, I'll get this lot sorted, get it unfolded, because it does, again, going back to the last episode, it has a wonderful theatre to it. So let's turn it on, rotate it round and get it facing the right way. And we'll be popping this into course play, of course, but in fact we'll do that now. Where are we? Because I'll go into a little bit of the detail that Virtual Farming Life provided to me. So let's go into here. Let's go to our fieldwork settings. Oh, I need to remove that. Oh, it's not there. Where is it? Oh, sorry, that's another vehicle that's got it on there. Right, so fieldwork settings, 14 metres. We'll keep with 2 headlands. Start work on the centre, of course. Deactivate the sharpen headland corners, because I don't need to worry about anything like that. We're going to keep them manual at 0 degrees, so it'll keep it pointing perfectly north and south for the up and down rows. That should do us there. It might take a few minutes, a few seconds to calculate the course, but it's usually not too bad. There we are, lovely stuff, and we're right by the start point there. Let's bring it up. Start on first waypoint. There we are. Right, so let's enable work mode. There we go. Get this thing unfolded. It is properly cool, this. But yeah, this is looking at the design of the thing now and why it looks and appears the way it does. Is down. It's very, very interesting. So we'll get this thing going. Where are we? So let's turn on the seeder. I need to lower the seeder. There we are. Right, let's go here. Let's have a look. Nice. I'm going to do this little bit manually first, because, in fact, what I might do, just so that I don't mess up the course, let's bring up all the waypoints so that I can talk and not get the wrong bit. There we go. Let's lift that up and make our way up towards the next node. But yeah, so the information and why this thing makes sense. So I'm going to read almost word for word Virtual Farming Life's explanation. So the Nexat is created for a practice called controlled traffic farming. With this, you only drive the same tyre tracks through the field no matter what you're doing. And initially now that makes sense as to why it looks the way it does. The idea is that you compact a small part of the soil a lot and not touch the soil outside of the tyre tracks, creating a healthier and higher yielding soil. So, I'm not going to be able to read and manoeuvre this beastie around, am I? So let's just concentrate on this bit first, get myself turned around. Relatively lined up, there we are. drop you down, off we go. So yeah, with the design of the Nexat, you have 3 tyre tracks every 30 metres, meaning you are only compacting around 5% of the soil maximum, where with a normal tractor working at 12 metres, which is roughly the most common size for controlled traffic farming practice, you would drive at up to 20% of the field and leave 4 tyre tracks going up and down the field. So that's the idea behind it. But in Farming Simulator, it is really hard to do that, and it's mostly just a cool piece of equipment that is cheaper than buying everything tractor mounted. And he's said to see his earlier comment, and now that earlier comment is around and about the cost of the machinery. So on the cost side of the Nexat, you need to consider a lot more. You are supposed to use it for seeding, planting, weeding, spraying and harvesting. So it's like obviously it is with all its implements that you can change it out with. It's a kind of all-in-one thing. Now of course it doesn't suit every style and every size of farm, does it? We know that. It's a massive bit of equipment that is primarily kind of meant for big, open, wide American fields, I suppose. I don't think I've ever seen, I mean, I live in relatively rural Cheshire. I've never seen anything like this because, A, you wouldn't be able to get it around the place. Although I'd imagine, you know, there is the capacity to have it delivered on the back of a truck, I suppose that. But just, it's very fiddly to manoeuvre around. There we are. See, I'm just trying to straighten it up. So, yeah. But yeah, like I say, you're supposed to use it for seeding, planting, weeding, spraying and harvesting. If you calculate all of those machines of a comparable size with the Nexat and add the 10% yield bonus from using the Nexat, it will most likely be a lot cheaper than the conventional equipment. So there is a relatively brief explanation as to the general purpose of why something like this now exists within the agricultural industry, and it makes sense. It really does. The main thing is, like you said there, is you're only compacting approximately about 5% of the soil on any given field, as opposed to running multiple tyre tracks with your tractors and your implements behind you, etc., etc. So it makes a lot of sense now. It really does. Yes, it's a big, awkward, strange-looking, weird bit of equipment in some respects, but it has a purpose. It has been thought out by extremely clever people, you know. So yeah, there you go. A bit of an explanation. Right, anyway, so we need to crack on with this. I'm sure we've got a good couple of hours ahead of us for drilling this. So yes, I plotted the courseplay course, but I wanted to drive it manually, at least for a few minutes myself. So I'm going to click on nearest waypoint there. That should work. Go for your life. There we are. 59 minutes left according to courseplay. There we are. Right. Let's crack on.
Taking me
just typical, isn't it? It really is. Had I not purchased that several thousand litres of solid fertiliser there as a precautionary measure that I didn't run out during the work in the field, you'd have, yeah, I would have run out. But I haven't run out. We've got, what have we got left in here now? We've got, no, it doesn't tell me from that readout, does it? 1,576 litres, 8%. So yeah, it was completely unnecessary. Thankfully, we will still need it in the future, some of it at least, because our seeder does require solid fertiliser. I am considering potentially in the future re-drilling the grass fields, but we shall see. We shall see either way. But yeah, there we go, job done. So you can kind of see visually as well a bit of an example of what we were talking about before about the compaction of the Nexat machine there. The white lines left in the field there, these are the tyre tracks essentially. So these are the areas of the field that would receive the most compaction. Obviously, if you were to utilise this machine with all its implements, the seeder, the weeder, the all that kind of stuff. These are the areas. If you were to, you'd be running the same course essentially. So these are the only areas that would ever see soil compaction and the weight of the machine on the soil. So you can kind of see a visual example there of what it does. Obviously, if you're using, if we were to go for what, so let's say for example, my big Fent and the planter, there'd be a lot more tyre tracks in the field there, so that soil would be a lot more compacted. So you can, yeah, it's kind of cool to see that. Fortunately, if I jump into the map PDA there, we'll have a look at the crop there. There's no actual missing crop. It would have been cool, I suppose, from a realism sense, to see the rows where the tyre tracks have been, where there's no corn planted, but as it happens, it's Farming Simulator. What can I do? There's a few spots around the growth thing there, but if we go to the precision farming and look at the nitrogen, there we go. All done, all nicely topped up with nitrogen, upwards of 200 kilograms a hectare. We were drilling into the field there with the seed, but anyway, job done. So now it's a case of, I think we're going to be taking this thing back now. We're going to be done with demo equipment now. We're going to take this back to the farm, back to the dealership. Sorry, pick up the pickup truck, get home, and it's, what time are we on? It's 6:05, but it's still a beautiful evening, and I'm not going to let this weather go to waste. So we're going to jump in the big Fent, in the big grey Fent, one of our latest acquisitions a few episodes ago. We're going to hook up the Kinze planter, and we're going to get drilling our soybeans in field 5. Right, back at the farm now. Now, what I did also do as well, because obviously it was our seed that we'd loaded into the Nexat previously, I did actually unload all that seed. It'd be nice if I could have unloaded just the seed and not the solid fertiliser that technically wasn't mine, but still it unloaded the whole lot. So I've loaded it back on to the trailer here, so we can stick it into our planter and get cracking with the soybeans in the last field. Now, once we've done this, that's all of the seeds drilled then on the farm. So that's a nice place to be. As is this tractor, a very nice place to be. What are we on for fuel? Just over half a tank. I think we should, I hope, have enough to do the whole job. So, hitch up the planter. Now this is actually, I think, again, possibly one of the first times we've used this planter on the farm. I know we did use it for the cotton, but we've hardly used it at all, really, so far in the series. There we go. Just get that hitched up. Oh, it does still have a load of seed in here as well. Brilliant. Okay. Right. So we'll just tot it up. Make sure it's full. Now, of course, it does. We've got liquid fertiliser in here from when we did drill the cotton. But it's obviously, like I said before, and as I'm sure we all know, soybeans don't use any. So be as careful as I can around here. Slide it up next to the trailer, and I should be able to. There we are. Lovely stuff. Precision reversing there. Now I just need to figure out the best way of entering the field. I can get to it from behind me there, but I think because of the direction we're facing, we'll go through the gate just off the lane down here. Right, so it's going to be a lovely evening this, I feel, getting the beans in the ground. There we are. Carefully does it. Oh, fell down the ditch there a bit. Ah, well, wasn't too bad. Lovely. Right. Beans. Let's drill them. There we go, folks. All seeds are sown. Brilliant. Dead happy with that. All the fields are drilled now, so it's just a bit of a waiting game now till harvest time. But I've got to, I know I said it an episode or so ago, but I do love the more visual animals mod from Arrow here. It's just brilliant. It's such a heavily populated pasture now, this one. It really is. And like I said as well a couple of episodes ago, this one works fine. I think it's to do with the fact that I've got over is it how many have I got over there? Several hundred, almost 1,000 cattle in the very far pasture. But yeah, maybe it's because of the numbers, but we can see both the brown Swiss and the Holsteins in this one, and in the one on the other side of the lane there. But when we go over to the very far one, you can only see one of the two types of cows at one time. Anyway, that's fine. It's one of them things, isn't it? It is what it is. So yeah, so we do have to roll this field, of course. That's going to be another job coming up in the future. But apart from that, that's all the field work done. Then it'll be the next big job is the grass work. We've got several fields of grass that need harvesting. Jumping into the PDA very quickly. So yeah, we've got fields 1, fields 3, and fields 11 to cut and get loaded up into both of the bunkers, or all of the bunkers. We've got the set of 3 bunkers up here that are close to this pasture, but we do also and this cow barn, more importantly. But over at the new layout that we set out several episodes ago now, I did place another silage bunker down there to be closer to those cow barns and the TMR mixer that's over there as well. So just helps reduces the travelling time, I suppose. So yeah, we'll be loading up all of the bunkers, but that's a big job. We'll be jumping in the forage harvester for that, and bringing in a few tractors and trailers to get those jobs done. But yeah, that's another big job. But like I said, I'm very happy now that all the seeds are sown on the farm moving forward. So I think next, let's just remind myself now, where are we? So we're in April. The next crop to harvest is going to be, where's the cotton at? The cotton's not till October. We've just sown the soybeans and corn. So where are we? Soybeans. We've planted there. So that's October as well. And the corn, that's October as well. So everything is pretty much as it is till October. It'll just be a bit of grass work in between here and now. But like I said, like I did say before, obviously moving forward and thinking on bringing this series to an end, there may well be a jump in time between once we've got all the work done and the rolling's done and the grass is done, picked up, mowed out the field and put into the bunkers, etc., etc. Once those big jobs are done, and then it's just a case of seeing the cattle through months and months and months with their feed, and waiting till harvest time. There may well be a jump in time, obviously, because there's not going to be a huge amount of content to produce from all of that. But we shall see. We'll see how it goes. So there's still a few episodes left in this series, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I could see this series through for ages, if I'm honest, and carry it forward and go from there. But like I said, I just feel that there needs to be a bit of variety, and we have, like I said, I think this is episode 24, isn't it? So yeah, by the time I think we may get to something like, well, I don't know exactly how many more episodes are left in this series at the minute, but it might be up to 30, it might not be, we'll see. But I do love spending time on this magnificent farm that was built for me by my good mate Chimera. It's a incredible farm. She's got such a talent for making American farms. She's got a talent for making all types of farms, but there's something particularly special, in my personal opinion, about her American farms. It's an absolute corker, it really is. So anyway, right, but for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the episode and found it a little bit of fun. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. If you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code if you're looking to purchase Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There is coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are looking to purchase a multiplayer server to play with your mates. All the links to these will be in the video description below. And as always, any help and support here is hugely appreciated. So, thank you very much for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.